What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Set. His name is Ulysses. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Suppe. The map is Blue Lagoon. We got a classic matchup for you today, ladies and gentlemen. The Set versus the Odin. I'm going to say it until people start doing it. Set players, the first two villages that come out of this town center need to go to gold. It doesn't matter what strategy you're trying to do. There is nothing that works better than this. The two villages go to gold. You are aiming for a 4-minute advance time if you don't build a monument. If you do build a monument, you're aiming for a 4:30 advance time. That is the meta for Set. So all of you Set players out there, buddying Set players who are like, why is Set so strong? All the time I lose with Set. That's because your build order is not allowing you to take advantage of what makes Set one of the strongest gods. Because Set is such a timing attack focused civilization in that everything that makes Set good is timing attacks. That means that every single second you gain in the game is super important. And that's either for like a priest Wadget rush with the shifting sands, which is something that works fairly decently still. Second town centers into fast mythics, kind of like classical fight stuff. Everything is about getting stuff going as fast as you possibly can. So getting that temple up with only one villager instead of having to put multiple villagers onto it if you want to get that advance time nets you a lot more resources, a lot more consistency, and you're going to live the dream. So we'll see exactly what Suppe is going to be doing. And now Suppe is the king of Odin Norse build orders. Getting those Norse build orders down, if you want to be watching Suppe here, would be really, really good. So what Suppe does a lot, and he does it really, really nicely, is at the start of the game, he chops down a little bit of wood instead of going straight onto his hump. This serves two purposes. First purpose is that it allows Suppe to get himself out an ox cart very easily for his wood line. It allows Suppe to get out a temple very, very early. And also, most importantly, it means he doesn't have to kill off any of his hunt straight away and allows him to bring pigs over to get great hunted. So what we're seeing here is this was a 3 giraffe spawn, so it didn't matter that much here because you only get 750 food from Great Hunt anyways. But Suppe did get himself an extra couple of pigs here. Now, where are we going here for Ulysses? Is chucking his temple up, and the temple does take roughly 1 minute with one villager to build. So if you aren't throwing it up if you want to advance for 4 minutes, if you aren't throwing it up by 2 minutes, you are not advancing for 4 minutes. We see 2 villagers on here now, and it's looking like Ulysses is going to be going for like a 4:30 here. Now you can go 4:30 with 2 monuments. 4:30 with 2 monuments. Why would you not go 4:30 with 2 monuments? The monuments with Set allow you to get Hyena of Set. No, not Hyena of Set. Giraffe of Set. Gazelle of Set. Hippo of Set. This means that Set gets the most hunt ever. Hunt is the fastest resource in the game to gather from. If you have infinite food, that means that your economy is now better than everyone else's. Essentially, because it means 1, you don't have to walk forward to this food. 2, your food is safe, so that it's never going to get raided. And 3, you never run out of food; it just keeps coming. But the negative is you don't have any favor for things like Migdols, things like Shadoof, things like everything else. So you have to go for barracks units. But Spearmen, Horus Spearmen are good, man. Horus Spearmen are good. Horus Axemen are good. Slingers are even good. So you don't necessarily need those Migdol units anyways, especially against Norse. But enough about what I think is right. Let's see what Suppe's doing. Suppe's gone for his Freya. We see the vision and the units of Ulysses ready to move forward. There's the big vision coming through, the big shifting sands. One villager getting picked off. We see the forest fire onto this location here, getting a little bit of damage dealt onto these units. The army will have to retreat away. That's 2 villager kills, 4 shifting sands. Now, this is not the end of the game here at all for Soup. Losing that many units, not going to matter all too much. We are going to be seeing Soup attempt to get himself a second town center on the back of this. Unfortunately for Soup, he's short food. He is short food. He needs just a little bit more food. He's coming up to the top position here to get himself this rhinoceros. And here's the thing. If Ulysses allows this town center to go up, which he very well might here, this is going to be huge for Soup. The economy of Norse simply outclasses Set if you're not using animals of Set to eat, basically, or if there's lots of food on the map. If there's lots of food on the map, the Norse is going to be very, very strong economically. So we'll see this town center coming up. It's going to be very, very late. We are seeing some throwing axemen coming out for Soup. A little bit of an interesting decision there as the Valkyrie circling around trying to find something to pick off. Villagers moving over here onto this zebra here. Walls will start coming down now. Ulysses throwing up a barracks as well, so he's going for I like this. I like this play from Ulysses. He's going for like a 2-town center classical fight. Hopefully that's what he does. And what this means is that Ulysses is going to have access to spearmen, which have got 5.0 speed, which can outmaneuver their counter, which is a throwing axeman, and get raids on. The only way to chase them down is with raiding cavalry, and if the raiding cavalry chase you down, you just turn and fight them. It's very, very good. Anyways, we'll see how this is all going to go. The villagers chucking up these walls very nicely, preventing any sort of raids that could potentially come in. The Raven going to be flying over here and just checking out what is going on here. As these walls are going to come up fairly soon. There's the town center for Soup. And the raiding cavalry coming out here, doing their thing. These rhinoceros over here getting eaten beautifully for Soup. And he is well on his way here. It's not much, but it's something. Donating 69 bits. Nice. Nice. Alrighty. Soup, what's he going to do is the question here. So this is not... Just because Soup's gotten 2 town centers here, only lost 2 villages, doesn't necessarily mean this game is won for Soup. He still has a long way to go here. And the same thing for Ulysses. Just because Ulysses killed 2 villages, and got his second town center up without losing too much, doesn't mean this game is free for him either. Are we seeing, like, what did the favor get spent on here? I think maybe that monument came down really, really late. But we do have all of this food here that could be currently getting converted. We do have a couple of priests still here, 3 priests. You can always convert these units just because it's not the early game anymore. It's well worth it to come and steal that hunt, make it safe. Well worth it to come over here and steal, or not steal this hunt, but convert this hunt, make that safe. But we're seeing Soup now having some raiding cavalry out. Going to be able to hit some raids here and find what he can do here. More houses coming up for Soup, as he is currently housed, and he's going to sort that out fairly soon. We've got the medium cavalry coming through as well. And now we've got Soup making a move forward. It's the Wadjet hanging over here. The priests waiting. There's a lot of units here for Soup. Ulysses got to be careful. He's trying to make a retreat. He can garrison himself into the town center. He does turn around and get a nice amount of damage over here. We're now starting to see Nephthys coming through for Ulysses, actually. So he wasn't actually building anything out of this barracks at all. The raiding cavalry now onto the priests, onto everything else. The Herso does manage to take down that Wadjet over there, as the Valkyrie does end up falling. Nice micro here from Ulysses thus far. The army of Soup trying to get some value in on this location. But five raiding cavalry over here, they're simply just going to get shanked. 2 falling, or 1.5 falling here, as these villagers do finish up on that raiding cavalry. Now the villagers are going to make their way over onto this gold mine, start mining that one. The spearman is getting sniped down. The villagers going to be fighting this one off. Currently idle, need to get them back in onto this one. Nice snipe over here by Soup, as he's going to continue to flood in onto this location. These spearmen should be able to kind of clean up over here, as another spearman is coming in. These villagers fairly safe over here. And now the question is, where to for Soup? Does he keep flooding units? Does he go to the heroic edge? I think the heroic edge would be a correct option here. Get the walls thrown up. If he stays in the classical age, he might find himself with a little bit of problems because the ancestors has no answer for that until he gets that frost in. There's the Migdol Stronghold going to come down, defending his gold mine. We've got a decent amount of wood in the bank, so Ulysses will be wanting to make some of those raiding cavalry. Chariot archers. Do have to be careful not to overdo it on those. Only one monument for Ulysses as well means the Scorpion Man will be slightly underwhelming because he's not able to spam them out like a double monument Isis would in this situation. We do have these raiding cavalry are looking like they are just about to get picked off, but will manage to live with 7 HP. And as Odin, 7 HP could potentially turn into 115 HP as these raiding cavalry are going to be retreating away. We see that third town center now coming down for Ulysses. I don't think the third town center is ever a correct option in this matchup for Set. I don't think that Set has a good answer to Fimbulwinter. And we're seeing Skadi come through. So now Soup can very, very easily stay 2 town centers, go to the Mythic Age through Fimbulwinter, through Tier, and hit a brutal timing attack onto this town center with a lot of units to boot. And it's going to be really, really hard for Ulysses to compete with that, given he's gone this town center. He does have these Rhino over here that he can eat. Lots of gold in the bank here as these villagers do make their way up there now as the Raven pulling back. And we just have to see what's Soup's option here. What's Soup going to try and do? Skadi coming through. He wants to throw down a hill fort somewhere. Unlike against Ra, against the Hathor, doesn't have to worry too much about those rock raids. So it doesn't have to necessarily throw a hill fort down on the gold mine, though it can be fairly good anyways, just to make sure you don't get raided on that one. And we see Soup retreating back. He does have to get down that hill fort. So he's got to be careful not to overextend and build it too far forward here. These villagers currently idle, need to move forward and start getting this hunt over here. We see Thundering Hooves coming through for Soup. He's got a lot of food in the bank. Not much gold as we do see that hill fort coming down. It's very, very, very aggressive. If Ulysses spots it, I almost guarantee that he makes an attack on this, but he's not currently close enough. These priests don't see all too much just yet. The chariot raids are coming. You've got to be very careful with chariot raids against Norse players because they've got 6.6 speed raiding cavalry versus your 5.0 speed chariot archers. You might think the chariot archers are good raiders. They're really not, especially not against these raiders. And Soup is going to make you pay every single time here as he moves those raiding cavalry and gets a brutal surround. Unfortunately for Soup, doesn't manage to snipe them all down, but so much damage onto those raiding cavalry there as these ones are blocking the rest. There's a hill fort up, a second hill fort coming down as well for Soup. He's getting himself shaft mine here as the raiding cavalry is going to be retreating away, leaving this area. No crenellations here, so these raiding cavalry can simply just walk through here if they so choose. We've got the monument to the soldiers now up for Ulysses here as the hill fort is just about to come up, and we'll see, will Soup be able to make any real push happen here? He's starting to make some Jarl here, which I don't necessarily like, considering we've got cavalry, we've got everything. Like, you hate to see it. That is such a good frost from Soup. And he's now going to make a big push in onto this town center. There is ancestors available. The priest coming over here. We probably seeing Horus come through for Ulysses. I love that from Ulysses. He's got a big answer to this coming very, very shortly. The ancestors come down. These units pulling back. How many idle here? 17 idle. Honestly, it feels as if to play against Odin, you have to kind of treat it like you're playing against a Ra player and separate your villagers such that a Frost will only pick off 7 villages, 8 villages, do you know what I mean? And now the Raiders trying to come in here, pushing everything off. The Frost has finished. The villagers need to get back to work here. And then we'll be able to do that, but Horus is on the way. Still no upgrade to the Mythic Age for Soup. He's getting himself Quarry, Plow, Copper, Shields. As the Scorpion Man going to be retreating away. We've got the heavy cavalry through as well for Soup. Still no third town center, no Mythic Age. This is going to be tough because, I mean, Ulysses can make Rhino of Set. Rhino of Set here are going to be really, really strong. They're going to be really, really strong. We see the Chariot Archers attempt to pull back into this nice and defended location, even making some camel caravans here. These cavalry are going to be doing a nice job as well. But no No current unit that's forward to Tornado. He might actually Tornado here, to be honest, to relieve some pressure as the portable ram is coming through. Hands of the Pharaoh comes in. Pharaoh does get sniped down. There is the Tornado. Should be able to take down both hill forts here. Hopefully both hill forts. It'll be a very unfortunate tornado if only one of them falls. It's so unfortunate sticking over here, and it's not going to take down this hill fort as the army still pushing in. We've got the Avenger in getting frosted up. These rhinos offset. Going to be absolutely clutch here to hold on. Irrigation coming through for Suppe. 120 of 130 population, or 110 of 120 population is missing a house right now as Ulysses does manage to hold here. These villagers getting pushed off of this gold mine. Very confused as to why he's over here when he has a fairly safe gold mine over here. Very, very risky. This is a good play from Suppe to attack Ulysses where he's weak right now. Unfortunately, the Rhinos of set do get a negative bonus. I say negative bonus. They get a negative multiplier against buildings here with the Rhino. So instead of doing 12 damage, they do 6 damage per second against buildings. So they're not the best against buildings, for those of you wondering. But more Frost Giants coming through for Suppe. He's got a lot of villagers coming out. Still no third town center. I feel like this is one of those situations where getting the third town center for Suppe would actually be really good with just like one Ulfsark, just so that he can kind of do what he needs to do. But I guess maybe just going for Ragnarok here wouldn't be a bad idea either. And we'll see how this game is going to continue here as Suppe. He needs to figure out a way forward, basically. Because Ulysses is going to try and defend forever, basically. And he's about to run out of gold, though. He's got 1,700 gold left. So if he gets gold starved, it's kind of game over. Suppe does have the army advantage here. He has a big army advantage. Catapult coming out. That one's not going to do all too much as these units here retreating away. The Frost Giant is onto this town center here. These units pulling back. The Frost Giant does manage to hit this catapult here. Nice play there. And then we'll see if he's going to move over onto this location fairly soon. These priests retreating away here. It's the raiding cavalry going to be getting all of that sweet damage done. Camel caravans might get sniped down as well as Suppe is making a very, very strong push. The priest pharaoh is over here, or are over here. There's lots of favor in the bank for Ulysses. He should be making Rhino offset here. It's the only real option for him because he's got not much economy because he spent it all on camel caravans. Definitely don't want to build camel caravans as set, unfortunately. It's too much food. And now Suppe has also got possibility of going to the Mythic Age, selling all that wood, simply advancing. He's getting himself up some longhouse in this corner as well, putting the foot on the gas and not taking it off. So these villagers going to get sliced up. Nice play there. And the town center will go down very, very shortly. There is a priest over here. It does have funeral rites, so it's going to be doing a good amount of damage to the Frost Giants, but Huskell coming over trying to snipe this one off. The army for Suppe kind of getting a little bit confused about where it wants to be. He's getting himself that third town center. The market is up here. Lots of wood in the bank. 138 of 140 population here. Where's all of his units? He's just full. Okay, just Ragnarok here. Oh, town center lives here with just over 100 HP. The villagers do manage to hold on. Ulysses is he's trying to hold on here. These are Ulfsark coming in. I'd love to see just a wall here. Just a single wall. And now Suppe is simply just going to change the battlefield, go after this location. Just sell all of your wood and go to the next age. Why not? Don't understand. Town center is not close to being finished. Now the Ulfsark coming in, sniping down these villagers, doing nice things. Raiding cavalry pushing in. We see the hill fort coming up on both sides over here. Chariot Archer is going to be looking to get some raids in as Ulysses is finally getting a little bit of breath in this game to breathe. A little bit of air to breathe is probably the more correct saying. Now these Ulfsark need to get in and start taking this town center down as fast as they can. But the Chariot Archers will be looking to get some raids. Sell your wood. Sell it. 3,000 wood. You don't need any of it. Ulfsark will be able to take this down very quickly. There's even a portable ram coming out. Suppe still not with quite enough resources in the bank to advance. He does have enough, but he just needs to do it. Now the portable ram going to come in. Suppe could probably grab this and stay. Honestly, Suppe can kind of do it if he wants, as long as he doesn't lose too many units here. Loses a lot of villages to this raid. And it is a big slowdown, but there's the town center now coming up for Suppe. We'll have a 4-2 town center advantage, but pushed off gold. Anything can happen if you get pushed off gold. Because it's all forward. He does have a trade route started, so that's fine. Now the chariot archer's coming over here. All Suppe needs to do is send some raiding cavalry over there, but Ulysses does end up tapping out, realizing the game is lost. Nice play from Suppe, but Ulysses not taking a big advantage of his set. Not getting those early monuments up, getting that extra food income. And he definitely did struggle because of that. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.